Hello, everybody. Welcome to Saturdays with Steph. As you can see, I've got a friend here with me today. We were supposed to have several friends, but they are ill, so I'm sorry to hear that to Ingrid and Bev. I hope you get better soon. Um,
That's horrible.
yeah, I think because this weather is so cruddy, going back and forth between rain and sunshine, and people are getting sick, right?
We've got rain today here, and it's probably
Yeah,
going to
we
be
do
shining
too. And
tomorrow.
it's cold here today. It's in the 40s, and a couple days ago, 75 and sunny. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's the time of year. So, anyway, I wanted to introduce my friend Russ of Quilt Meets World, and I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself. So go ahead, Russ.
Hi, I am Russ with Quilt Meets World. I know that's a big shock to everybody after Stephanie just said it. I have a YouTube channel. I do a weekly vlog on Wednesdays. I do a live on Saturdays, usually 11. Today was a little bit later because we had an event at one of the quilt shops that I wanted to go to. And then, I'm going to be out of pocket in a week and a half. So I'm trying to figure out if I can convince my sister to go live with me while I'm up there. I've
Oh, that would
decided,
be fun.
I've decided I'm going to try, because 2 years ago she made me try Kool-Aid pickles, which are
Oh,
just as tasty as they sound.
oh, they don't
So
sound
I'm going to
tasty.
try to make her try Vegemite with me,
Oh, okay. That's
which
not good
I
either.
know is not, I know is not exactly tasty for
Yeah,
American palates. But I've also learned that, this is how you're supposed to consume it and all the other stuff. So
yeah.
if I have those things that make it less offensive, hopefully, because you don't want to, it's not like peanut butter. You don't want to take a big scoop of it. You want
No,
like
that's what people
thin.
make a big mistake is they try to like, you know.
Oh yeah, no, 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 I know not to do that. I know it's the thinnest layer that you can possibly do.
Yep, yep. Well,
So
that
we
sounds
will
like
see.
fun. I hope you get to do a live with her so we can see her.
Yes, if we do, it's going to be the first Saturday then. So that'll be in 2 weeks. I will do it because
Awesome.
the
Will
second
she
Saturday
have
is her
will
party.
she have graduated by that point?
Yes,
Yes.
his graduation is 2 weeks ago yesterday, or
Oh,
2 weeks
awesome.
from yesterday, rather.
Okay. So we can do
Yeah.
a little, if she comes live, we can celebrate her.
Yes,
Yay.
that's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to say we're celebrating her graduation and making her try Vegemite.
That'll be good. Awesome. All right. Well, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. We have Carl here. He was number one. Hi, Carl. And Tamala, Karen is here. Jeannie, Marla, Diana Corday, welcome. Good to see you. It's been a while. Steven's here. Hi, Steven of the Idiot Quilter. Marla, yes, it is cold and rainy in Northeast Ohio. She said it is. It is miserable outside. I haven't even been outside today because I don't want to go out into that. Um, Dorlin's here. Good to see you. And Shelly, Catherine, Candace. Hi, Candace. Russ was just telling me that you bought some fabric today. So fun. Uh, I hope you all are doing well and staying warm and not getting sick. And I don't like to get political, but I know Canada just had their big election and a lot of you are very happy. So congratulations about that. Um, yeah, that's it. Okay. So, like I said, we're working on Dragon Fruit Block of the Month today. And this is what this month is going to look like.
3 blocks only, but they're
3 blocks.
huge.
Yeah, huge. They're big blocks. They're not really that big, but when Russ and I both pulled them out, they're 12-inch blocks. We normally do 12-inch blocks in quilts, but for some reason, this big 12-inch piece of paper, well, it's bigger than 12 inches, looks so huge compared to all these other little pieces that we've been doing. So yeah, so it's kind of funny. But so we're starting to work on those today. And if you guys have any questions or just want to chat with us about stuff, definitely put it in there. There's only the two of us today to chat, so chat with us. That'll make it more fun. Uh,
Catherine and Carl both love your hair, just to let you know.
Thank you. I just saw that she said my hair is gorgeous. Thank you. I just put the blue back in, and this time I did a little bit more of a turquoise blue instead of a royal blue, and I really, really love it. Uh, Kind of like mermaid hair. So, you guys know me. I love blue and I love the ocean. So it felt really appropriate for me and I'm loving it. So thank you so much. And it'll fade in a couple days. I literally just did this today. So it's pretty bright right now, but I do really love it. So thank you. So it's good to see everybody. Russ, what have you been busy doing? I know what you have been, but you want to tell people what you've been busy with?
Uh, Yesterday I did the binding on 3 quilts.
You are a superstar. 3 quilts.
It it was ridiculous. Okay, in my defense, 2 of the quilts, which were the big ones, queen size ones, already had the binding sewn to one side, so it wasn't as intense for those two. But then
Yeah.
the third one was like a twinish size, so yeah, that was a lot of binding to do yesterday, but I got them done. They were at show and tell this morning. I had many people ask me, one, who did my long arming, and two, what the patterns were. So I think that means they were a success.
Yeah, sounds like it. When other
And
quilters are asking you things about your quilts, that's definitely a compliment.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it also made me realize why I do not like going to First Saturday for Saturday Sampler because it was crowded.
Was it?
I mean, I understand the majority of people like to go first Saturday because if something happens, then they have third Saturday to fall back on and they don't have to pay any extra for that.
Got it.
But, I do third Saturday just because I don't like the crowds.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
if something comes up and then I'm like, well, maybe I'll just take it because it's like $15 if you miss it. To
Oh,
um
got it.
to pick up your next block of stuff. So I'm like, it's not a bad thing, but it's a bad thing.
Yeah. I'm with you though. I don't like the crowd. So if I could avoid it, I know you couldn't this time because of your traveling,
Yeah, and I'm
but
gonna
if
have
I
to do
could
it
avoid it,
again
I
this
would
time
too.
next year because I'm gonna have to travel next year.
Yeah.
And I was already asked, what quilt shops am I gonna go to while I'm up there? I'm like,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. I
Are
mean,
you thinking of going to some though?
I am definitely going to my two favorites because uh like the first one that I'm going to is in Chicopee, Massachusetts. It's called Bayberry Quilts. And they were like the first quilt shop that I went to.
Mm.
And they love me to pieces. And like when I went there after like right when mom passed away, they immediately were asking where mom was because she's usually with me. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
sorry.
Oh,
And of
that's
course,
gotta be
they
rough.
didn't know, so they're apologizing. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it is, but I just didn't want you guys to freak out too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, they remembered me a couple years later for my first visit.
Oh
So
wow.
I was just like, okay, I have to come visit you. They do a lot of kits,
Uh-huh.
and their patterns are usually something like a Villarosa design or something like that, a very
Oh,
simple
okay.
pattern. They've gotten a lot of their stuff from 3 Art Quilt Books too.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that makes them stand out to me is they include the backing in their kits.
Okay. That's nice.
So
That way you don't have to hunt for matching.
yeah, because if there's one thing that I always forget to do when I'm shopping is buy backing.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with them is they do their binding as a double fold over from the back.
Oh,
So I have to remember to buy extra fabric for binding.
yeah. Yeah, that's not my favorite kind of way of doing binding. Mary said, howdy, Churchill Downs is a muddy mess. I bet with all this rain.
Oh,
Yep. And then Marla said, I saw your Instagram post with a better text fabric. Gorgeous. I'm almost done. In the next day or so, I'll have the whole quilt top and I can show you guys. And Marla also said, Stephanie and Russ, where are your derby hats? Mm-mm. I'm not a derby girl.
I'm not a derby person. Now, John from Geistcraft 2, he's hosting a derby party today. If you
Oh, is he?
have watched any of his videos, you know he's a big derby fan.
Okay.
So he hosts a derby party every year. So I should have texted him asking him how his party went.
Yeah. I feel like you either got into the derby when you were young and it just continues and you're a derby person, or you've never, like, I was never really introduced to it when I was a kid. And
I
I love
wasn't either.
horses, but I was never introduced to it. So it never, like, now I'm just like, okay. But I know that's how people feel about, some people feel that way about football, and people feel that way about baseball or basketball or whatever. We all have our
Yeah.
thing. So, yep. I'm just never been gotten into the horse racing.
Although after I went to my first hockey game,
Hmm.
I was like, I should have been introduced to this when I was younger. And
Exactly.
then the team was sold away from us.
Oh,
I was like, I just started liking it.
yeah, we have, like, I don't know the exact verbiage, so don't, Canadians and people out there that know about hockey, please don't lambaste me, but we have, like, I guess what would be the equivalent in the Major League Baseball, a minor league
Uh-huh.
hockey team here in Cleveland. And I went to them a couple years ago and I was like, why didn't somebody tell me about how cool was hockey was like years ago? Because it was fun.
Yeah. Again, not accustomed to these big giant sheets of paper.
Huh?
We do 12-inch blocks all the time, but we're not constantly the 12-inch block isn't a 12-inch block from the beginning, whereas a paper
Right.
piece is.
Is, yes. It's a little bit more awkward than the 6-inch ones that we did. I think these are the only 12-inch though, right? Don't we go back to smaller size
Yeah,
next
we go
time?
back to the last bit of 6 inches and the last bit of flying geese for next month.
Yeah. Can you
I'm
believe that we are so close? Like,
I'm
crazy.
calling this month the Jerry Ryan month because in Voyager she played 7 of 9.
I remember her. Yes. I liked Star Trek and I loved
I
her
know like
character.
only 4 people are going to get that joke, but
Nope.
it was
I
worth it
totally
for
get it.
me.
I loved her so much.
She was great in Star Trek Picard. And it's not every actress or actor who as they get older they get sexier. And this
Yeah,
is coming from me.
she's gorgeous. Yeah. Absolutely stunning. Oh, thank you, Mary. She said I look gorgeous. You're so sweet. Thank you.
So
Marla
if you
said,
are a Trek fan, Stephanie, are you
yeah.
excited for Starfleet Academy, the new series?
um, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it much about it, but
I haven't either. All I know is the doctor's in it.
yeah. So, yeah, we'll see.
And apparently it has its own ship.
Oh, okay.
Uh because William Frakes Riker from Next Generation, he directed a couple episodes and he spilled the beans at some event recently that it
Oh,
has
very cool.
its own ship.
Oh. My daughter Sarah had no idea what Star Trek really was. And so I recently introduced her to Star Trek, but I started with the newer movies
Uh-huh.
with, like, going back to when Spock and Captain Kirk were younger.
Yep.
Because I was like, these are more like her age group of, like, modern. So I thought I'll show her that before I show her anything else. And she's kind of hooked. So
I just in the third season of Picard, I love the line where he's like, I miss the carpet.
Marla said, my 17-year-old grandson struck out 10 batters last night at his game. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, swing, bada, bada, bada,
Good.
bada, bada, swing.
Rats. Mary said, my daughter rode for years, so I guess that's why I like to look at the horses. I love to look at horses. My daughter took riding lessons when she was younger, love them, but I just have never gotten into the racing. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine, but I just never got into it. Like when we go to the fairs during the summer, we always sit and watch the horses, like them compete and doing the dressage and all that. But yeah, just never watched the racing part. Marla said I like the first series of Star Trek, nothing after. I can see that. There's a lot of diehards that like just that.
Yeah. The one thing that really sticks out is if you're watching the original series movies,
Uh-huh.
I know that they happen, like really 1 through 4 happen within a technical year of each other. But just
Uh-huh.
watching them change their hairstyles as they're shifting from the 70s to the 80s is hysterical.
Yes. That's kind of all movies though that are like a series, right? And they take several years, even though they're only supposed to be like a just a continuation or just within a
Yeah.
year of each other. And you see how the actors change and you forget that they're like real people and they age.
I mean, Back to the Future actually did it pretty decently because they filmed it all within like a year.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you have if you treat each movie as separate as years apart from them, then you don't really notice it. But definitely 2, 3, and 4 are within a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Or as everybody likes to call it, 4, the one with the whales.
I'm really, really bad with remembering series names. What was the one with Picard?
The Next Generation.
The Next Generation. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah. That's the one that I was first introduced to.
Yeah, I think that was kind of when we were growing up, that was like our time.
And I know everybody hated Will Wheaton's character, Wesley Crusher, but I wanted to be Wesley as a kid. I was like, I want to be on a starship. I wanted to be that nerd. And then Deep Space Nine got all that flack back in the day for being so boring. But when it was introduced on streaming, everybody loved it because it was intended to be basically binged. It
Mm,
works a lot better as being binged across a couple months instead of watching it across 7 years.
yeah. You know, the funny thing is about binge watching. We were talking, Russ and I, before we got live, we were talking about how there's this, people put out there, they tell their kids, like, oh, I was born before Google existed. And their kids, like, they show a picture of them, like, oh my gosh, how is that possible? I was telling my kids the other day, like, how you didn't used to be able to binge watch. You had to watch your show that you liked, like, every Thursday or every Friday. And if you missed it, you couldn't see it again.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Yeah. You
I was like, okay, that
and
shows
heaven
how
forbid
old.
you had to go
Yeah,
to the bathroom in the middle.
right.
Like
Like you best
just
not
then
have to
you're
go to
like,
the
it's coming
bathroom
back,
or
it's coming back, it's
anything.
coming, and you're just like
Running. Yep.
kids these days, they don't realize how good they have it.
And they were like, because my daughter loves that show Wednesday on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
And the next one is coming out in August, but this time they're splitting it in two parts where you get half in August and half in September. And she's like, what? And I was like, dude, that's like nothing. Like when we were kids, we had to wait every week. And if you missed it, you
Heaven
missed it.
forbid like something end on a cliffhanger, and it was
Right?
a mid-season cliffhanger, so you had to wait like 3 months.
Yeah. And like a month is nothing.
But it has made me start to not want to watch shows until it's like 2 or 3 seasons that exist, because otherwise uh I get invested in it and then it gets canceled.
Yeah. I
Like,
hate when that
I
happens.
think it was 2 years ago, David introduced me to, maybe it was three. It was when I had surgery on my foot. David introduced me to some new show that had Neil Patrick Harris in it, and um, it was a really good show. And they left it on a cliffhanger, and then it
Oh,
wasn't renewed.
I hate when they do that and they
And
cancel
I
a
was
show.
like,
I
I
always
want to
feel
know
like
what happened.
I feel like they should make one more episode so we can find out what happens.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I was supposed to be binging Mid-Century Modern with him for his
Uh,
visit that he ended up having to work for instead. So I'm like, I want to watch this, but I also want to experience it with somebody because of the laughter.
yeah. Were
But I'm
you
just going to end up having to watch it alone.
oh, bummer. Were you a Downton Abbey fan?
I never watched Downton Abbey,
Okay, well I
which
am a
means
Downton
I'm
Abbey
not the
fan.
one who named the Downton Tabby quilt.
I am a fan of that show, and honestly, like I preferred it better after it was all aired and I could binge watch the whole thing. I feel like
Yeah,
because I could watch it all at one time, I got more out of the story because I went back and rewatched it once it was like streaming, like where you can watch all the episodes.
yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of shows that it works better
Hmm.
if you can just binge it. The first season of Star Trek Picard, I would have not like they. I know they released it every week,
Hmm.
but I would not have watched it if I had to wait a week between the episodes
Yeah.
because the first season was just boring. No offense to my favorite characters in that show. Now, the third season, I was like, I need the next episode now.
Carl said Kirk with a perm.
Yeah, I think Uhura with her perm was, and that's, I think, in the one with the whales
Hmm.
because the boring the search for Spock, that one was it was boring, but
Yeah.
I don't think that they had like the great hair. But the one with the whales, everybody just had that hair, and it was, yeah, it was glorious.
Yeah. Marla said, "Where is Bev and Julie? Been following y'all making this quilt. Gonna be gorgeous. It is gonna be gorgeous." Um, Unfortunately, Bev and Ingrid both are sick today. Sadly, I think it's the weather or something getting everybody sick. And Julie did say that she was gonna be here, but I haven't seen her, so maybe something came up. She does have the farm, you guys know, lives on a farm, and
Yeah, she could be having another cow.
yeah, her animals have babies and things, stuff like that. So things do come up. I know that. So hopefully we'll see them next month because we're getting really close to the end here.
Yeah, as we were talking, it's like we have a bunch of stuff ending at the same time.
Yes, which is kind of exciting because we're going to have a bunch of quilts finished at the same time. And that also means that we get to start new projects,
I know.
which is always fun because I have all these things that we've been talking about sitting here now and I want to break into them. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
stop.
Well, that's what I was talking about on my live today is I have a whole bunch of UFOs,
Yeah.
and some of them I don't care as much about.
Hmm.
And then there's some of them that I one of the cotton pets quilts is supposed to be for a coworker of mine. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, she no longer is a coworker. Uh, and the whole fact that we can get them done fairly quickly made me say, okay, I'll do it. But if you're not sewing some of the stuff with friends, because that's what we did for the first cup for that one cotton cuts,
Yeah, we did.
and then we'd stop, and I was like, well, I'll find a way to do it. So now I think I'm just going to take the next what's left of it, 6 weeks,
Hmm.
and just say I'm just sewing cotton cuts on my live.
You know what though, Russ? What that's doing, you're doing something for me doing that because now I'm going to be motivated to do mine.
Yep.
When I saw you doing that, I was like, oh, I need to
Oh
get
yeah,
back to that.
I
So
think I have that quill.
yeah, I do. And I think I got a little further than you. I think I was on month 4 or 5, but not much.
Yeah.
So now I need to dig it all out before you do another month and see where I'm at and so along with you. So let's see. Somebody said, oh, Carl said solar flare. Yes, we're gonna do solar flare in the future.
Yes.
Yeah. I know a bunch of us have it. Carl has it. I think Steven has it too, right?
Yes, Stephen has it.
We have it. Julie has it. I forget who else has it. I think Ingrid.
Ingrid has it, I think. We just got to figure out how we're going to break that up because I don't
Right.
know. I haven't even opened up the kit to see how it's broken up or how it could be broken up.
Yeah. I
I
didn't either. I was gonna do that one day, just kind of look at the sewing instructions and see how we can, yeah.
I looked at the butterfly instructions and was like, okay, how do we do this one as well?
Mm.
Which I saw one of the butterflies in person today, so
Oh, did you? Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen them, a bunch of them. There was one at Quilt Canada when I was there a couple years ago, actually a couple of them, and there was a few at other shows I've been to. So I actually didn't get that one because I'm not as interested in the butterfly, but I love solar flare.
It was the shop owner. It was her butterfly,
Nice.
and her long armor did custom quilting on it.
Oh,
And in the quilting, it had like the antenna and everything else. Like it came out gorgeous. It's going to be to the point where I think I'm going to ask her who her long armor was to have her long arm my.
yes,
Like I'm
definitely.
like I
I
don't care
when
how
I
much it's going to
saw
cost me. This is going to be too gorgeous to.
to just edge to edge, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one I saw at Quilt Canada did that too, where they put the antenna and it was really cool. So here's one block.
gorgeous.
So cute.
I'm
Love
almost
it. Now we have to make
done.
4 of each of these, so that's just one.
Yep.
So I'm going to move on to another one because we have 3 different blocks this month. So now I'm going to move on to this one, watermelon block. I'm kind of leaving the snail trail for last because I feel like that's the one I have to pay attention the most.
Yes, that's the one. No offense, I'm not doing it live
Yeah.
because I already know that it's going to require a lot of focus. Like
Yes.
I've already done the 4 patches for the center,
Mm,
so I'm not
okay.
concerned about that portion of it. But the rest of it, I'm just like, that's going to be a lot of concentration.
Yeah. I mean, we have to pay attention when we sew.
I mean, at least I'm good with when they give us the instructions, putting everything in order. So
Yeah.
I don't have to sit here and think, oh, okay, which am I doing the right piece? Am I, which also means if I put them in the wrong order,
Mhm.
then it's like, why didn't you think? Which again, the only one I'm concerned about for that is solar flare because the rest of these they're
Yeah.
very simple.
I feel like in some ways these larger blocks are easier, except for the fact that you have bigger pieces of fabric flopping around.
Yeah, that yeah, you got bigger pieces flopping, and what was I about to say? they're really long seams. And,
Yeah.
even though we're accustomed to doing 12-inch blocks, we're accustomed to doing 12-inch blocks that are bigger seam allowance, not paper piecing seam allowance.
Okay. Mary said, ugh, whose pattern is Solar Flare? And I believe it's just by Free Spirit. So let me pull this out. Yeah, it's just a Free Spirit designer.
Using Tula Pink's fabric,
I am
or basics.
making a mess of this quilt kit. And it says that the skill level is intermediate, or if you have prior knowledge of foundation paper piecing, you can do it. So this is what it's going to look like. This is Solar Flare.
So pretty.
Oh yeah, it's a Tula Pink basics fabric that is all paper piece. And here's the fabric. It's yummy. It's a rainbow of fruity flavors.
I almost feel like we could probably do half of it with the extras that we have from here.
I know. We've gotten so much extra of this fabric. I'm saving all of it. Here's a bigger picture of the quilt that was in the kit too. So if you guys want to join, there's some out there still. I've seen them on Etsy. There's a quilt shop out in Washington, Camano Island. If you guys have been following me for a long time, I used to have a retreat out there. The quilt shop is called Over the Rainbow, and they still had some left because I know a few people got it from there, including myself. So yeah, we're not starting it yet, so you have time to find it if you want and join us. But that will be one of the projects that we're going to start when we're done with this one, among
Well, it will
others.
be the project we start when we're done with this one.
Yeah, that one. Well, and then I think we're going to do that garden.
Yeah, well, that's when we're done with Bumbleberry Pie.
Yes. We got all the things going after.
So I've got this one done, and I'm excited for, this seam right here that looks perfect.
Perfect. You matched up those patterns. Perfect.
100% skill.
That's right. Kelly said, I have solar flare. It will be nice to watch your live while sewing this beauty together. Awesome. Good. We'd be happy to have you sewing with us.
Yeah, I was going to go on to the watermelon block, but I don't know where I put the watermelon block. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
That's not the watermelon block. That one is.
if you are the least bit OCD, these paper piece quilts really, speak to your brain. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing I can say. They do take a little longer than a traditional block.
Until
But
you get directional fabric.
yeah. But then, like, I've learned something. I always say learn something from every quilt you make, right?
Yep.
One thing I've learned with this one is I have to just let go
Yeah.
because there's just, I mean, I sort of know where the blocks are going to land, but I would drive myself nuts trying to get all the directional fabrics the way I think they're
Trying
going
to
to
plan
fit.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
There was a Saturday sampler that we did. I've already lost how many years ago it was.
Mm-hmm.
And it had directional fabric in it. And I got to like month 8 or 9, keeping the directional fabrics in the directions that they have to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like month 10 where they started showing the finishing and they said it's going to be all on point. And I'm like, but all my
Oh.
directional fabrics are. And
So it didn't matter that you were trying so hard, like,
well, it's not only that, but now if I didn't finish it because of that, because it looks like it's all just going sideways.
yeah, yeah. Oh man.
And I'm like, if you should have told us that it was going to be an on point finish. I mean, we could finish it any way we wanted, but you weren't guaranteed fabric unless you finished it unless you bought the kit that they would have finished it with.
Right. Oh
And if you
man.
bought that kit, you may or may not have enough fabric to finish it however you want.
And I think I get they didn't want to tell what the quilt was going to look like, but they should have said, hey, by the way, since there's directionals, these are going to be on point if that bothers you.
Yeah. And I mean, in their close to defense, they did say that, don't stress about your directionals and stuff because there's going to be a point where you can't do it. And like my OCD was just stressing and stressing and stressing. If they had just said don't stress about your directionals because we're going to put it on point, then I would have, cared a lot less and let it all go.
Right, right. Yeah, that's a stinker. These ones though, I think the prints are so small that you're not gonna see it too much, the ones that are directional.
Yeah.
Um, like if I'm making a bag or something like that, or where a quilt block is big and it's obvious, then I definitely want to make sure it's going the right way, just because my OCD will be like, no.
And I know you are very big on you can make just about everything with the tools you already have.
Hmm.
Like you can do your 1/4 inch stuff with the stuff, but I have found the add a quarter ruler very handy with these big blocks.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
The small ones I was able to do no issues with uh the normal everyday rulers that we have.
Mm.
But these bigger ones, I needed the extra little oomph.
The at a quarter, yeah. I was gonna show them the other quilt that we're gonna start, but I have the pattern upstairs, so that won't work.
And I don't know where my copy of the pattern is.
No, that's okay. We have time.
I think Julie said she bought the kit for that one too.
Oh, did she? Okay. Yeah, I was going to use fabrics that I have and stuff, but then I saw that the fabrics that were with the kit, the designer of the pattern, she designs for Benartex. And I thought, well, since I'm a Benartex ambassador, that would be a good idea for me to use
Yeah.
her stuff. So,
And it's gorgeous in the original line as
oh
well.
yeah. And she's actually coming out. I didn't realize it was the same person, but I got to see the fabrics that are coming out in the next few months for Benartex. Um, and she's coming out with a new line in June or July that's like kind of flowery like this line, but it's all blues and like lime green and like turquoise blue, lime green. What I was like, oh, like you're
Oh,
killing me. Like it's so pretty. It's like my colors. Let's see. Joanne said, what is the name of the other one? Not sure what
Which other one?
other one you mean.
Because we've got so many other ones.
Yeah. And Kathy said month one with the diamond shaped fabric got me because now that I'm putting it all together, my diamonds are sideways. Oh, yeah. Those are the kind of things I mean, like you have to kind of just let go, right? I had to too. And I know that's hard, Kathy, believe me, because I am like the OCD queen and need my directionals going the right way, but it was not going to happen without driving myself crazy.
I would not have thought that those two shades of fabric would go well together, but they do.
What's that?
The pink and the peach fabrics that are in the watermelon block.
Oh, yeah.
I was very questioning when I was cutting this.
Yeah, I kind of was too, just because, well, one thing, I'm not a big pink girl, you know that. And I don't love peach either. Um, but I do love the pop of neon orange that's in the peach.
Yes.
I think that's what's making it like tolerable for me.
Yeah.
And the more I'm putting this together, yeah, I like it better than I thought I would.
I mean, when somebody else has picked all the fabrics, I'm always like, you got to trust the process. You have to trust the process.
Yes, that's just it, right?
If I'm picking the fabrics, then I'm like, okay, did I do the process right? Did I do the process right?
All right. Then you have that song playing in your head. I did a bad, bad thing. Yeah, it's tricky either way because if you don't pick it, like you said, you kind of got to let go and like pray that it all works out and you like it. But if you pick it
Yeah.
yourself, then you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Like,
Yeah. Which is why I've decided that, I will do a mystery quilt if somebody else is building the fabric together. But if they tell me to go pick out a light, a medium, and a dark, I am not doing that.
yeah, I don't like those kind either because
Because yeah,
sometimes,
you never know how much of the like of each one is in there.
well, yeah, and sometimes I've seen where they say pick a light, medium, dark, and then their medium is not exactly medium, or
Yeah.
their dark is not exactly dark, like what I would call dark, I would call it medium. And so then like it doesn't look right. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not super much a fan of those either. I mean, I feel like if you get a light, medium, dark, you could always go with red, white, and blue. But how many red, white, and blue quilts can you have?
Yeah. I was told that the next Saturday sampler, that program that they're starting at my quilt shop,
Hmm.
is going to be a red, white, and blue quilt.
Oh, is it?
Well, they said one colorway is going to be like blue and white, the other one's going to be red, white, and blue.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't have time to do yet. Like, I miss the days of being able to do two different Saturday samplers at the same time.
Mhm.
But now it's like, I'm doing YouTube stuff. I'm doing
Yeah.
projects with you. I'm doing projects with other people. Like, I don't have
Yeah.
time to do two.
No, you've got a lot going on. You've got this one, Bumbleberry Pie. You have the Kona block of the month. You've got Saturday Sampler. You're keeping yourself busy.
Which is why I need to start figuring out which ones need to be worked on and get them in order of priority.
I know what my priority is going to be this week. It's going to be to dig out my tree of life and see where I'm at so I can sew with you when you do it. And then, because that'll keep me getting it done too.
Yeah.
And then I also need to catch up or make sure I have everything, which I did a lot of catch up this week. I think I'm only one block from being caught up completely on Bumbleberry Pie.
Yeah, I gotta. No, I'm only one block behind on Bumbleberry Pie. But yeah, I gotta figure that out.
And then I have a couple of dragon fruit from, I think it was 2 months ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have to figure out what I'm missing with dragon fruit because
Yeah.
I think it's month one. I may not have 100% finished.
Oh, okay.
And then there's another one that I think the flying geese I did not get finished. But whether or not I haven't finished, I got to get them all into the 12-inch blocks. So I got to
Yeah.
start focusing on that.
Yeah. The month I don't have finished is the one where the fabrics were real light pink. I think they were called candy cane or something, or I don't know. I can't remember if that was the third month or
Yeah.
something like that. So I got to go back and finish those
I
because we
wonder
are so close
how
with all
much
these. I want to
time
make sure I'm caught up so that way I can finish them.
I wonder how much time they spent trying to figure out names for every single one of these blocks.
Yeah. Hey, Joy T, good to see you.
Hey, Joy. See, it's a good thing that what I'm working on right now, the numbers don't matter because I just put 6 instead of 7, and then now I'm doing 7 instead of 6.
Oh, yeah.
But the numbers don't matter in this block, the order, because each round, even then, that one that it says is a different number
Hmm.
doesn't matter because you could just rotate it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the snail trail that I think is going to give all of us that are working on this the problems.
Oh, yeah. We just have to
That-
pay super close attention.
The biggest problem is that center square because it's a traditional piece 4 patch that you then have to put into your quilt, into
Yes.
your paper piece, which anybody who's thinking it's not hard, you just got to take your time.
Yeah.
Oh, Marla says that she's doing one block of the month at this time for a Yoder with her Callie and Co fabric.
Oh, that's so pretty. Marla, you know how much I love Cory Yoder too, and I have that kit to do it, but I haven't started it. But it's gonna be pretty. Can't wait to see it, Marla. You're smart to do one at a time, though. I love sewing so much, but sometimes I think I wish I was one of those people that could do one project from start to finish. I just can't. I
Yeah.
have too many squirrel moments.
In my early days, it was easier because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to spend all of this money on a block because the cost of Saturday Sampler is one price. And then when you hear the price of a block of the month, you're like, how is it that much more? Because I was envisioning a block of the month being just like a Saturday Sampler where you're getting a block.
Um,
Not necessarily like what we get here where we're getting several blocks and things like that. So when somebody was saying that it was,
yeah.
$20 a month for that, I'm like, you're giving me $20 a month for this little bit of fabric? No. Now that I know what's actually happening, I'm like, oh, that's totally worth it.
Oh, yeah. Like we should show people for this month alone. Like I have extra fabric from every month, but this month alone, this is how much extra fabric we have, you guys.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable. Like this is like enough for a whole nother
I mean, they
project.
did tell us that they were selling us like 600 yards of fabric. I
Yeah.
don't remember what the exact number was. I think it was like 17, wasn't it? That they said that we were getting in the by the end of it was 17 yards of fabric.
I can't remember exactly how many yards, but it's a lot, I know.
Yeah.
But I was still
And
shocked how much was left over this month.
yeah, it's like every month I'm like, why do we have so much extra fabric?
Yeah. Of
And I
course,
I, I
Back
really
Quarter Shop always does that though. Like I've done some of their designer mystery block of the months, and
yeah,
I always have tons of extra, like enough to make a whole nother something. Maybe not a whole quilt like the same size, but a smaller like lap quilt or.
yeah. I really like their designer mystery quilts. I really have wanted to do a couple, especially when they had Camille Ross Kelly ones.
Hmm.
But and that's when I actually did math on it and calculated the size versus how much fabric you're getting. And I was like, I can't justify that. Plus shipping every month.
Yeah.
I could not justify that price for that size quilt.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Camille Ross Kelly, the new Moda catalog came out. Her next line is literally all blue.
The one that's coming after the Nantucket summer reprint.
Yes, it pretty much looks like Nantucket. I shouldn't say all blue. There's a little bit of green in it, but it's mostly blue and cream. So it looks very similar to Nantucket Summer with the floral and all that stuff, but it's almost all blue.
You're teasing me with this things I cannot see.
I will show it to you. I will show it to you. And Marla, since you like Corey Yoder, she's going to have a new fabric line out next year or later in the year that if you remember all the way back when she first started, Marla, her first line Prairie, it looks exactly like Prairie, like the same not 100%, but the same colors and some of the florals from Prairie. So I'm real excited about that.
Uh, this one. I'm going to be going back in the office on Monday, all worn out from these blocks.
Right?
I mean, I was worn out yesterday from the binding because I had yesterday off.
That's a
Otherwise,
lot of binding in one day.
it is a lot of binding in one day. Do not recommend. Uh,
Especially tell them how big those quilts were.
yeah, like I said, for the two queen size quilts, it was just tacking them down,
Mhm.
but the twinish size one, I had to do both sides, and yeah,
Yeah.
I think I still need to go through and do the hand stitching the corners in some of them because a couple of them are a little too open for my comfort
Oh, okay.
levels.
Hmm.
So I think I'm going to stitch some of those down, but that'll take all of, 15 minutes.
Right. Oh, Marla said, yes, I saw that. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. Oops.
Corey Yoder's coming out with a flannel line.
She is. It's coming out this summer.
August, Marla just said.
Yeah. I was gonna say July or August. I couldn't remember. I don't know if I ordered any of that. I don't think I did because I'm not a big like work with flannel kind of person.
I've never have.
Hmm.
Well, I used flannel as a backing of one quilt when a coworker friend of mine was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Hmm.
I immediately made her a quilt, and I used flannel for the back because you got to keep warm in those treatments.
Yeah.
She still loves that quilt because like she got cleared and then it came back,
Oh.
and she's like, this has just been the best thing because she's tried other things and that quilt just kept her warm. So I'm like, just keep using it. But I need to start looking for something for the Art East goats in pajamas pattern because my
Wait.
sister loves goats.
Oh.
And we got a coupon code for 15% off
Hmm.
Art East at Stevens Retreat because John was one of the presenters.
Yeah.
And yeah, I bought that pattern because I'm like, okay, Fran, I'll make it for you. You just don't know when you get it.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed his retreat because I knew John was going to be there, but I was not sure when I was coming back from, helping my family. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been a good with John's presentation.
It was a great presentation
Oh,
and
I'm sure. He's so awesome. If you guys don't know who we're talking about John at Art East Quilting Company. And he's the one that did the Winnie the Pooh that I'm working on that's behind me. And I've done many of his quilts, the Going Coastal and
I may have bought the recolored Alice.
did you? Did you buy
May
the whole
have,
kit?
may have.
The kit?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the kits on his website. I was really tempted.
Yeah, it because it's I think it's shipping sometime this month, and I'm like, when it gets here, it gets here. Because I know it's got to go through, customs and everything.
Yeah.
But the last
And
time I ordered something from them, it came really quick.
it does come really well when Canada Post is working, right? It comes quick.
I there's that.
Yeah, because like literally just about, I don't know, 4 weeks ago, I got a Christmas card that he sent me. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you sent me a Christmas card. But if you guys remember, Canada Post around Christmas was having a strike. So everything kind of got backed up. So I was actually behind. Well, I was behind with the block of the month, to be honest, because it took me a while to get going on it. But I also was missing two of the patterns. And then all of a sudden, one day, both patterns came in separate envelopes. And then a couple of days later, I got a card and I was like, oh, what's John sending me? Because I didn't order anything. And I opened it up and it was a Christmas card from him. And I was like, Oh, that's so sweet. And I felt really bad because it was like March.
Yeah.
But that's how backed up it must have been, like from the strike.
My sister and I sent each other the same Easter card.
What's that?
My sister and I sent each other the same Easter card.
The same Easter card.
Because
Great minds think alike, right?
um I saw it Sunday because I didn't check my mail on Saturday.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have told you last week when we were doing Bumbleberry. And I texted Fran, I was like, "Did you have this already?" And she said, "I told you I bought the card when I bought my St. Patrick's Day cards that I never sent out." I was like,
That
I
is really
remembered that.
cool.
I just want to make sure.
Well, you'll know your brother and sister, so she bought the same card.
It's not the first time we've sent each other the same thing, too.
Yeah.
And I know it's not going to be the last.
Marla said she's waiting for Corey's flannel because she's always cold and she's going to make some flannel jammies. That'll be cute.
Oh,
Well, if you guys like Corey Yoder colors, you'll like her flannel if you like flannel because it's her bright, pretty, kind of sherbety colors. It's just I'm not a flannel. I don't use flannel. The only flannel I've ever done is like for baby quilts, like on the backing,
yeah.
just to make it super soft.
Well, you have to rip that seam. Yep, I got to rip that seam.
Oh, bummer.
It shifted by a little too much.
Oh,
Because, you
yeah.
got these big pieces and
Yep, that's the danger with the bigger pieces.
they're upside down and you don't get to see anything until after you've sewn.
Yep. I've had people say, like, isn't paper piecing hard with like all the little pieces? In some ways, I think the little pieces are easier
Yeah.
because it's easier to hold on to, like you said, and no shifting or not as much danger of shifting.
Yeah. As long as the foundations are big, is really
Mhm.
it's not even those tiny pieces. It's if the foundations are small, then it's easy peasy. If the
Yeah.
foundations are big like this, that's when you get more risk of shifting and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because my very first paper piecing project ever was a friend of mine's pattern, and the small pieces I had zero issues with.
Hmm.
The moment we started getting the larger pieces, I was having issues left and right of shifting and things like that. And I was just getting frustrated. And the answer really is you just take it slow and go the best you can.
Yeah.
And if you need to seam rip, I was told to use magic tape to keep your paper back together because that doesn't normally gum up your machine. But
Yeah, you could use that. Is that like the same consistency as oh, what's that tape called? Washi tape?
I think it's a little bit. It's basically Scotch tape, but it's the Magic Tape brand or
Oh,
Magic
okay.
Tape,
Got it.
not brand, but version
Uh-huh.
that it's supposed to work cleaner or something like that.
You know this seam guide tape that I use for like the 1/4 inch?
Yeah,
This stuff is like similar to washi tape, and I've used that before for repair, and it doesn't do anything to my needle. So that seems to work pretty good. So if you guys use
but you
that
can't
quarter,
see through that to see the lines.
um, I guess I've never had it that bad though, where I couldn't like I just had to tape a little spot, you know?
uh, oh, you were just taping a little spot.
Yeah, like not it wasn't like a huge section or anything. Yeah, you're right though. If it was a bigger section and you needed to see, that wouldn't work.
Is yeah, smaller stitch length means harder to rip.
Yes. Definitely does, but it makes your FPP look so much better.
Uh, it doesn't help that, trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be looking at through my new glasses.
Oh yeah. How are those working out for you?
I hate them and love them at the same time.
Okay. I
Uh,
can see
I,
that.
I almost feel like I could have gotten away with just buy instead of try,
Mm-hmm.
because I find myself shifting to, and it could just be I'm shifting to the correct location. It just feels like it's further down. But when I'm
Mm-hmm.
on the computer, I find myself lifting up more than I think I should.
Oh.
And but I'm going to tell you, it feels nice to be able to, go to a restaurant and see the menu.
Yeah. Not have to go, do you have a big print menu?
Or, what is it? Taking a picture of it with your phone.
Right, and enlarging, yeah.
Because I have done that. And, actually being able to read the text message that my sister sends me
Yeah.
instead of who was I talking to? Where, oh, it was a coworker of mine, where we were talking about, certain, as long as you know the first and last letter, you and as long as the rest of the letters are there, your mind fills in the correct order, even if they're in the wrong order.
Oh, yeah.
And I told him, like, I've had that basically, like, ADHD brains or things like that, they get worse with that whole concept because you're constantly filling in the missing pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're reading something and you have enough context there, your brain just makes up the rest of it. And I've had many conversations with my sister, and she's yelling at me, "Did you not read my text?" I'm like, okay, let me go back and reread the text. What
Yeah.
did I miss? And then I'm like, okay, I did not see that because my brain works weird.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was just because reading up close was fuzzy. So it was a lot more difficult to do. And then now I can read again because I wasn't keeping my readers with me everywhere I was going to be reading something.
Yeah.
And I still did order a few pairs of contacts because there's a
Mm-hmm.
couple things that I'm like, I probably would rather contacts during this event or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I ordered contacts, and they got one, like, I ordered two boxes because they won't let you order a single box, even
Mm.
though both my eyes wear the same contact. And when I went to pick up my glasses on Monday, they handed me my contacts and said, "Oops, I'm sorry. We received the wrong prescription for your second box."
Oh,
And they're trying to offer me a single trial pair to make up for. I'm like, okay, I don't need them now. And a single trial pair means I have one extra contact somewhere.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
And they called me probably Wednesday,
Hmm.
say that my contacts are in again. And I said, "Oh, awesome. I will pick them up on Friday as because they're on the way to go pick up Riley from daycare."
Uh-huh.
They handed them to me and I got out the door and I'm I just happened to look at these things and I'm like that there was one number on there. I'm like, that doesn't look right. And then I finally saw the power. I'm like, turn around. These are not my contacts
Oh no.
because I'm a -3.5.
Uh-huh.
And the first pair they ended up getting back was a -4.
Oh,
And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'd be happy with that. And then these were -6.25. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely would not be able to see with that.
yeah.
So we will see. Like, I imagine I'm going to get another call on Wednesday, and this time I'm going to say, "Can you look at the box and make sure it is the right prescription before I have?" I mean,
Are you?
it's only seconds out of my way.
But still, they have to keep going there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they were severely apologizing, and I was like, Riley's daycare is down the street practically. It's not like I mean, I had to deal with a little bit more traffic,
Mhm.
but
Okay, I got a watermelon done.
I am two seams from having a watermelon done.
Nice. So these are the two so far. So we have to make four of each of these guys. They're really cute though.
Yes.
The only bad thing about big blocks like that too, though, is that it's like you have to find a place to store them.
Well, technically, we were supposed to be putting all the smaller blocks into a big block, so
True. And I do
they
have those together over here. So it's just gonna go with that, but
these things are so heavy. I'm like, I know it's still a same 12-inch fabric, but we're accustomed to super tiny piecing or super tiny foundations.
so you can get your four patch on there perfectly. Are you going to glue it or how are you going to do that?
My plan, and we will see how well it works tomorrow, because it ain't happening tonight, is to use these things.
Oh, the
So
pokey things.
I'm gonna poke one through the center
That's a good idea.
to line up that center hole,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to poke through the sides to try to line up with the four seams to line up the best I can.
Okay.
So that is my plan. I
Yeah.
watched Fat Quarter Shop I'm sorry, it was an It's So Emma video. It's
Mm-hmm.
still Kimberly Jolly. And she did not suggest any type of method to line it up. She just put it on there and it was magically lined up because she's, you know, Kimberly Jolly.
Yeah. Mm.
It's one of those that I'm sitting here thinking, I'm sure something happened off camera, and that's perfectly fine, but
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
it's also not perfectly fine because, we need to know how to do this the best way
I'm also wondering why we can't just paper piece it right onto the four patch. I mean,
because of like you can't paper piece all 4 individual pieces. You could,
No, but I could do 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4, and I feel like it would line up better in the center.
if that works for you, I don't see why not trying. We have 1 extra sheet,
Yeah.
so
I could be a rebel and try.
yeah, and then let us know how that works.
So
But
what we're talking about is we have to do for this snail trail block, which is this one right here. They're telling us to make a 4-patch unit and attach the 4-patch right in the center. And there's, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a star right in the center. But I sort of feel like if I was a rebel and put 1 and 2 on there first, and then lined up 3 and 4, and I could press them opposite directions so they nest right in the middle. Like I feel
oh,
like,
she did recommend pressing that open.
yeah, I saw that, but I feel like if I press 1 and 2 one way and 3 and 4 the other, they could
Uh,
nest, and then I could sew it and flip it over, and it would be like more precise. I don't know.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Every time that I saw the snail trail stuff, I'm like, how do you start this? How do you
Yeah.
start this?
Yeah.
And um, a friend of mine, he designs paper piecing patterns,
Hmm.
and he created, oh, what was the pattern that he called? I don't remember what he called it, but it was a mug rug. And I was demoing it at the open house at his shop.
Hmm.
And the first thing he said when he saw when it was over was, "You put these 2 pieces in the wrong spot."
Oh,
And it was because I didn't do the same numbering thing that I did here. Um, and I was like, yeah, I didn't notice that until I was all the way through, and I was just like, okay, don't do this.
yeah. Yeah.
The reason why I did them backwards is because they his pattern, it was going around almost log cabin style, but I remember them being triangles.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
I have I have it somewhere in the house. The
Yeah. You'll have to find it and show it to us.
Yeah, one day when I actually am thinking where it could be, because that was 5 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It
Yeah.
was pre lockdown,
Yeah. Could be anywhere.
and yeah, I was just like, I I was also doing it on a machine that was not mine.
That makes a difference too if
So
you're
that
shop.
made and I was doing it with an audience. So
More
a lot
pressure.
of everything, like it was just a whole bunch of, was that the perfect storm of how to make a mistake. And I was just like,
Well, I think you've also come a real long way in 5 years, Russ. So,
just a little way.
yeah, yeah. Hi, Bev. Good to see you. She said, hi, y'all. Sorry I'm not live, but your blocks are looking
Hey,
great. Here's our
Bev.
blocks so far, Bev. They look, they're pretty. So,
And I've got
we were
my
talking
or
about,
not my snail trail, the
oh,
watermelon
nice.
block.
Love it. Yay.
So
We
I've
were just
got
talking about the
3
snail
done
trail
today.
block, Bev, and how to construct that. So, sorry, I totally interrupted you. I'm sorry, Russ.
It was good.
Oh,
Whatever it
okay.
was has already lost. Like it's already
Okay.
gone into the ether.
Um, and she said she likes my hair. Thank you. I'm glad to have the blue back in there. I love it. And Carl said, "Don't get me going about snail trails. We were talking about you. Russ and I talked about that
Yeah.
before we went live about your snail trail cats."
And how good they looked afterwards. But yeah, we understand your,
Yep. To get there was a pain. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I might try that. I might try to put like you said, we have an extra
yeah,
piece. So I might try to do the 1 and 2 and the 3 and the 4. I just feel like it might be a little bit more. I'm
more
OCD,
control with it.
guys, and I
Yeah.
just feel
More,
like
more
for
control
my,
with it.
yes, I feel like I would have more control over the placement in the middle there if I put the rows together and then put it down and then sewed that line and flipped it rather than having a 4-patch that you have to fit all the
Yeah.
seams just right.
Well, I've already made the 4 patches, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I may do like a basting stitch
That would be a good idea to hold it.
to try to hold it, but not and
Yeah.
not just the glue dots, because you don't want this to move.
Yeah.
Although if they're off by, a couple hairs, nobody's going to notice because they don't line up with anything. Do they? Do they line up with anything? Uh,
All right. So I think since we're gonna do the snail trail off camera because it's a little more tricky, we'll probably end pretty soon. I'm gonna show you guys some of the blocks that we've done so far. I don't have every single block done. Like I said, I've got to go back and finish a few, but this is one of the blocks from one of the months. Really pretty. That's one of my favorites. I love that purple.
yeah,
And this is from one of the months. Oh, these are gonna go. Those ones I just showed you are gonna go with these eventually. That's the other part of
the
these.
other half.
Yeah. And then I have this one that we did. And then I have, this was month 1 and 2 that we did.
Yeah, and that's the one I
So,
know I don't have finished.
oh, okay. So I feel like I have a few that I got to go back and finish, but we have a good pile of blocks going here.
Yeah,
Yeah. And they're
it's
all so pretty.
it's gonna
So
be a lot of fun when we start putting it all together in month
I
9,
know, I
because those
cannot
are going to be
wait.
big seams.
Yes, they will. But it's going to be, and I love that it's because it's paper piece, it's going to be perfect. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that one that we're going to have to do over 2 lives or something because of how much it is, or will we be suggested to do homework beforehand?
Let me look. I think it isn't it done in like quadrants.
Yeah, it's done in quadrants.
So I'm thinking the magic of TB might happen.
Okay.
Like we might there's 4 quadrants. So we might, obviously
Put
it's a
3 of the
quadrant.
quadrants together ahead of time
We
and work
might put
on.
3 ahead of time and then just do one to show you guys. That way it's not so much because there's no way with all these blocks that we could do all that on one live.
Yeah.
So, but I would love to get it to the point where we're almost there. We have 1 quadrant to put together, then we could put those 2 together and then put the 2 big seams together and we'll have the whole quilt and can show you guys. So
And then there's the border.
yeah, and
The
then
border is
yeah,
just the white fairy flakes.
the white fairy flakes, yeah. So yeah, I'm just so excited. I can't believe we're so close. Ugh, I can't wait to see this all done. Yay.
Oh yeah. And I've already forgotten what the size. Oh, this is 60 by 60, wasn't it? No,
No, this
70
one's
by
bigger.
70.
Hang on. It is, huh,
Maybe it's 80.
I thought it was 80 something by, I could be
Uh,
wrong.
84
I
and a
thought
half
it,
by 84 and a
oh
half.
yeah, 84 and a half by
So
84 and a
I
half.
can't quilt it.
Yeah, so a good sized quilt.
I'm
It's
gonna
gonna
have to
be,
send it to my friend Stephanie for quilting.
I'll be happy. I love doing your quilts because they're so good. But yeah, so very cool. And then if you guys at home are doing this, the way that they quilted it on here is actually really pretty. So if you can't think
Yeah,
of a
I
way to
like
quilt it,
the swirls.
the swirls are really nice. I already have another idea for mine, but I think that the swirls are really nice. So
No, I was thinking something different too, but I'll have
yeah,
to ponder before I do that.
I have other
And then
thoughts.
apologize to you off camera whenever I say, can you do it in this pattern? Because I didn't realize how much work that pattern was.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about then. Yep. And then Bev said, if I can find month 1. Yeah, she had told me that she couldn't find month 1.
Oh
It's
no.
got to be around your house somewhere, Bev. You don't go anywhere except, you don't take your sewing stuff out anywhere. So,
Well, she
yeah.
did bring it to the retreat.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Bev, did you put it in with your sewing machine? Just asking,
Ah.
because maybe it's in your sewing machine bag. Let me know.
Because I remember she was working on it and some of it with the
Okay.
retreat. So
Okay. See, I didn't know at the
Georgia retreat.
Georgia retreat. Bev, did you bring it to the Ohio retreat as well? Hmm. So it could be in a bag somewhere, a retreat bags.
Yeah.
We're trying to help you find it.
Trying. It people have found remote controls in the freezer, so
True. Very, very true. So, in the next week, so we'll talk about what's coming up. I will have done a Banner Text project, and I have a box sitting over here that I haven't opened yet, which is my next Banner Text project. And I'm not opening that till I finish this quilt. And then I'm going to show you guys that fabric. So I'll show you the quilt and the fabric in one video. So I'm really excited that will be coming out later this week. And I'm hoping also to have another poo block done. So I'm working on,
Oh,
I got Kanga and Rue cut out, which is the next one, and I got Eeyore cut out. And I'm doing everything in my power to do them in order, but Eeyore is my favorite. So I really want to skip Kanga and Rue to Eeyore. But I'm being good. I'm being good. So hopefully I'll have Kanga and Rue and maybe even Eeyore done. We'll see. So that's what I'm up to. Next Saturday, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but I'll be doing something, and it might just be some uh, catch up sewing, maybe,
uh-huh.
maybe on this or bumbleberry pie or something like that. So, what about you, Russ? What do you have coming up this week?
Let's see. Wednesday is my weekly vlog.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's gonna be, I don't even know oh, no, I can't even show off show and tell in the weekly vlog because my sister might see it.
No, you can't.
So I'm apologizing in advance. I'm gonna have them up there, but I'm gonna have like big censored pictures up there, something like that.
That would be fun.
Uh, Saturday morning for my 11Zs live, I will probably work on month 4 of Tree of Life.
Awesome.
And then I am bringing my sewing machines for boarding so
Mm-hmm.
that they can get their maintenance done, spa days and stuff like that.
Bodies. Good time to do it when you're gone, because then you're not missing it, right?
Well, I'm going to be missing it when you're live, and I'm like, I want to sew with you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. When do you actually leave?
I leave on the 14th, and I've got a butt cracking, like, I think I have to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning so I can catch a flight.
Oh, ouch.
And
I've done
the
that
thing,
so many
I
times.
must not have been paying attention.
Yeah.
Either this next flight out would have given me a really tight layover in
Mhm.
Baltimore, or I just didn't see the next flight in because I've got like a 4 hour layover in Baltimore, I think, or 3 hour. I've got a longer layover than I would have expected.
Than you anticipated. Yeah. Yeah.
But I do get into um, Windsor Locks, Connecticut. That's where it's not Hartford, it's technically Windsor Locks,
Mhm.
about 3 o'clock on that day. And my
Okay.
sister told me that I cannot go straight home because she wants to be there when I get to meet Stella, her puppy dog.
Her puppy. Aw. That would be
So,
fun.
yeah, and I have to stop and get water for my CPAP machine. I think I need to get a little bit of alcohol because I'm doing an upgrade on her computer on next Thursday.
Mm.
So I gotta have to clean some stuff in there. So I gotta
I was
go
gonna
do
say, is
those
this
repairs.
alcohol to drink because you're upgrading or alcohol to clean?
Well, we know I don't drink,
I know.
so
That's why I'm
it,
kidding with you. I know you don't
yeah, I
drink.
know. So yeah, it's IPA. I'm sure she has alcohol in the house,
Yeah.
other than the drinking
Yeah.
one.
No, I'm kidding. I know you
But
don't drink, honey.
it's already hard enough that I'm telling her, you need to have this. Like I gave her already an email that says you need to have all of this ready for me, and I'm going to be sending it again next week so that
Yeah.
she has everything ready. And it should hopefully be a quick upgrade for me because I have to hide stuff in her house because that's the same day that I'm gonna be hiding things.
That's right. I can't wait till you tell me how that goes. Oh, you're gonna have such a fun time and you're gonna have all kind of stories. I can't wait to hear about them.
Yeah, and I will not have any Wednesday videos during that,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna try to go live the first Saturday, which is the day
Nice.
after her graduation.
Hmm.
And then the second Saturday, I'm hopefully going to have a pre-record for my normal Saturday time.
Awesome.
I've
Cool.
got something that I'm like, I really want to put this together, and people have been asking for it, so it's going to be something kind of fun.
Ooh, excited. That'll be fun. Awesome.
And
Everybody's
then,
saying have a great trip. Yes, you're gonna have the best time. I know it. I can't wait
yeah,
to hear all about it. So
it's gonna be so much fun. And
yeah.
like I said, I'll be doing little videos here. I know I normally have like scenes from the week in my weekly vlog. It's going to be scenes from the fortnight, and it might be 12 minutes long with everything that we're doing.
That's all right. So when Russ gets back, sometime in June, we'll do Bumbleberry Pie, which will be our final put together. Yay! So
Yes.
excited about that. So that means I need to get in gear and finish the blocks. And then in June, probably the second weekend in June. I don't know how the dates fall, but I'll have to look at the dates. But whenever Russ is back, then we'll do the next Dragon Fruit as well. Because that's going to be month 8. We only have 2 more months left of that one. So
Yeah.
we're going to wrap Bumbleberry Pie. We're going to almost wrap Dragon Fruit. I'm hoping to get some more of these done because that wraps in June as well. So all kinds of fun.
Well, lots of wrapping up, and
Yes.
it's that
Yes.
whole, okay, do we stagger? Because I'm sure everything that we're going to start is going to be finishing on different lengths of months. So it probably
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to just to say we're not going to start anything for a month because otherwise.
Yeah.
So
No, and we'll have to look through, like you were saying earlier, like the solar flare and see how to even divide it and stuff. So,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. The good news is that the garden sampler,
secret
um,
garden.
thank you, is already divided for us. So we don't have to do anything with
Yep.
that. So, yeah, but we have to definitely figure out how to do solar flare. So,
And that one, I can't remember if it's 12 blocks with the 13th month of putting it together, or
yes,
whether it's month 12 is putting it together.
I think, well, you know what? I think it's
I
12, the 12th month is putting it together. Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm now remembering. So at least there's that, because the Conan block of the month 13 is putting it together.
Oh, okay. Okay. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. So we've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So I can't wait to wrap some of these so we can do some of the fun new stuff. We have too many squirrel moments. That's all there is
I
to it.
know, I know.
And we enable
And
each other. So,
and the squirrel moment that I had last week, I'm like, I'll figure out when I get these things done.
right.
That's why I need to get these that are currently on on my plate, get those off, get the list of stuff that needs to be long armed, get those prioritized so I can like do those on like weekdays or something like that, when hopefully they just go quick with the long arming,
Yeah.
unlike the Star Cakes quote, which took 7.5 hours. Part of it was my fault because I was fighting with it for 90 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
That's, yeah. When you
yeah,
have to
so
fight with your machine just to make it do what you want it to do, then it's
it
frustrating
was user
and
error. It was user error. So yeah.
Hmm.
And
We need to learn how to put a needle in our machine. No, I'm just kidding.
yes, actually.
He knows I love him. I'm just picking at him. It's all good.
So yeah, I gotta get those starting to get those prioritized and get them out the door. Not that there's any homes for any of them, but
Yeah.
if I can mark them off my list and find a place just to store them until I can go to the family chat and say, okay, who wants what?
Yeah. And then your next Kona block of the month, when is that?
That is supposed to have been the day after Memorial Day, because
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, it was supposed to be Memorial Day, because
Weekend. Yeah.
I arrived back the day before Memorial Day, but I realized yesterday I'm not going to have my sewing machine back.
Oh, that's right.
So the Kona block of the month is going to be June 1st
Oh, okay.
for the
There you
next one,
go.
and that's going to be July. They didn't have all the May and June fabric come in yet, so the
Oh,
Turntex. So they sent us with July because they
oh,
had those.
okay. Well,
And
fair
I'm
enough.
like,
At least they
it's
swapped
12
it out
months,
and
it
like
doesn't
gave you
matter.
something to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm like, it's still gonna be 12 months, and it's just gonna be confusing for anybody who is trying to follow along. Um, but hey, I mean, it's still gonna be 12 months. It's gonna take the same amount of time, no matter what.
Yeah. no matter what. Yeah, you got to do them
And
all.
it's all
So
half square triangles, so it's not like July is doing a technique that we would have learned in May or something like that.
right, it's not like a skill builder. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. All right, it sounds like we all have a lot of fun things coming up. So everybody stay tuned to Russ's channel, Quilt Meets World, and stay tuned here, and we'll be back soon. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us.
Bye.
Bye.